Welcome to the Logan Mason ROSC meeting. Um, my name is Grace Irvin. I'm the prevention coordinator here at Chestnut Health Systems, and I am very excited for you guys to be here at the beginning of a new fiscal year. We have accomplished a lot in this past fiscal year, and so we're going to kind of highlight some of those things. But before we continue, um, this is what we're going to talk about today. So we're going to do some introductions. I'm going to show you guys um, some previous events that happened, updated meeting cards and rack cards, harm reduction resources that are within our community. And then we're going to talk about our recap with FY26 and the accomplishments that we have accomplished as a group. We're going to talk about the recovery month planning, because, as we know, September comes right up. And the past couple of meetings, we have been talking about that. So we have some things to just solidify. Overdose awareness is also coming up. And so I just want to kind of talk about that. And our community survey is also in ramps. We just have to get our survey questions filled out and turned in by uh, the August 30th. So I wanted to get your guys' take on some questions if we want to change or adjust or anything like that. And then give you guys some updates on any meetings that are happening and then give you guys the rest of your day. So, what is a ROSC? Need to hide you. So what is our recovery-oriented systems of care? So it is a coordinated network of community-based services and supports that is a person-centered and builds on strengths and resilience of individuals, families, and communities to experience recovery and improved health, wellness, and quality of life for those with or at risk of substance use and/or mental health challenges. The central focus of a ROSC is to create an infrastructure or systems of care with the resources to effectively address um, the full range of substance use and/or mental health challenges within the community. Sorry, I had to keep hiding your guys' moving your faces places. Um, and the importance of why we talk about this is just kind of a reminder every month, just so that we know the purpose of why we're here. But then also for any people who are watching on our YouTube channel, um, just to kind of give you guys a reference of what a ROSC is. And then what does that mean to us? That means we're improving access to health, wellness, and holistic recovery options for people who are at risk of or suffering from substance use disorders, while educating and connecting Logan and Mason counties to reduce stigma and improving recovery outcomes. So, what I want to hear from you guys today is your name, your agency, and affiliation. And then it's, a topic that, thank you, Molly, for helping. Beach versus lake versus mountains. So it's just very interesting. Get to know everybody a little bit more. So again, my name's Grace Irvin. I'm a prevention coordinator here at Chestnut Health Systems. I oversee the Logan Mason ROSC, the Logan Mason Substance Use Prevention Grant. I also support the Livingston ROSC grant and also on the base grant, which is Build, Amplify, Support, and Empower. So I do love the beach. I grew up on a lake and I do love the mountains. But if I were to choose one, I don't know. I feel that I would probably go with the lake because I'm a lake rat and I think that's probably the most appropriate answer because that's where I grew up. That's my life. I'm not scared of not seeing my feet in the dirty lake water, like whatever, they're there. It cracks me up when I bring people who have never swum in a lake out to where I grew up and they're like, I don't want to get in the lake. I can't see my feet. And I'm like, it's fine. It's literally fine. Bloomington, Illinois drinks this water and it's filtered. It's great. But I'm gonna go with lake. So that's my answer. We'll go with Molly, then Kendra, and then Kara.
Molly McCain, Community Health Consultant at Lincoln Memorial Hospital. Um, I've been kind of thinking about this obviously since I suggested it, and I just like being near a body of water. Like it doesn't matter if it's a lake or the beach or a river. Like I really enjoy hiking and being able to like be near streams of water and the forest. So I would say probably beach just because I feel like that's the easiest way to be near the body of water as opposed to a lake. But I did grow up going to Minnesota to the lakes, so I get Grace's vibe on that. Unless there's leeches,
Yeah,
because
no,
leeches are scary.
that's true. I will say caveat to the mountains. You can jump in rivers in the mountains, so that is also a thing to think about. Thank you, Molly, for being here.
Hi, I'm Kendra with Moral Behavioral Health, Community Engagement. Um, I would have said 100% mountains, but I did experience like a good lake last year for the first time. And so I'm partial to a good lake that isn't super gross. Um, but the mountain rivers, like especially in Colorado during the summertime, are amazing. And when I went tubing there, it was the best thing ever because it's summer during the day and then winter and like fall every night in the morning. So it's delightful. I hate sand, so that's my issue.
That's fair. I fully agree, and I have family that lives in Colorado, and I envy the fact that they can just live with their windows open and it's dry and it doesn't feel wet in their house. And I wish that for all of us, but that's not our life. Thanks, Kendra.
I'm Kara Davis. I'm the Director of Nursing at the Logan County Department of Public Health. And so I would have to say my pool is actually where I like to be over anywhere of those other things. But second would have to be a beach. No, no mountains, no. And lakes, absolutely freaking not.
Totally, totally fair. Thank you, Kara. All right, we'll go Danny, Cami, Bryson, and then Tristan.
Hi, I'm Danny Hernan, community health worker, SIU Family Medicine in Lincoln. And I mean, I guess of those three choices, probably lake, but like I'm not afraid of a pond or the creek or any of that stuff. So I grew up swimming in Salt Creek outside Mason City, so just throw me in a body of water and I'm probably not going to care that much.
Totally fair. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Cami Garrison. I'm with the statewide ROSC leadership team. I'm the technical assistant for Region 3, and I am mountains all the way.
Awesome. Awesome. Thanks, Cami.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Bryson McFadden. I'm a deflection specialist with the Bridge Deflection Initiative here in Logan, Mason, Menard County. Um, Beings that I finally got to go travel, and I'm not necessarily inland, been just inland anymore. I grew up around lakes in Galesburg, and everywhere I've been here in Illinois has had lakes. But within the past year, I was able to experience both the beach and the mountains, and I got to go with the beach. Mountains were beautiful and all that, but I actually got in the water at the beach and I loved it.
Totally understand. Thank you.
Hi guys, Tristan McGrew with the Bridge Deflection Program. Let's see. I definitely have to go with the mountains. Uh, a lot less populated. And good to see you, Cammy. I'm going with you in the mountains.
I totally get it. Thanks, Tristan, for being here. All right. Let's go with Jeanette, Carmen, and then Tina.
Hey y'all, I was over here talking like I was in the room with y'all, right? Y'all can keep every bit of your lake. You can have that. I am the one that cannot stand not seeing what's under a beach all day long. That's where I will be. Oh, did I say who I was? I didn't even say who I was.
Yeah, you
I'm
should say who
Jeanette.
you are. Yeah.
Say who I am. Jeanette Davis. I have the privilege to serve as a community engagement specialist for Memorial Behavioral Health. And y'all rock.
Thank you, Jeanette. Appreciate you being here and safely driving.
I am Carmen Lanham. I'm a prevention integration coordinator with Family Guidance Centers. And I would love a lake with a mountain view, but if I were to choose one, I would definitely choose a beach for sure. And excuse my cat walking in the screen.
You're all
Hi,
good.
everyone. Oh, I'm sorry. Tina
Go
and
ahead.
I are sharing an office, so she's just coming over and talking since hers is muted. So,
Oh,
hi.
got you.
I'm Tina Jones, and we are with AHAC in Carthage, Illinois, at Memorial Hospital. And I am probably more the beach because I like to cruise. I've been on a couple cruises, and I would say the beach. I do like lakes, though, because I vacationed at the lake for several years in Wisconsin. Um, so that is me. Thank
All
you.
right. Well, thank you, Tina. I appreciate you being here. All right. Well, that is everybody. So thank you, everyone. I love hearing everyone's answers, so that's fun. All right. So back to business. So we had some previous trainings. I did forget to throw on here that we had a table at Juneteenth and at First Friday, which were on Juneteenth Day. It was, and we had some really great connections with individuals, and we handed out a bunch of things. But I, failed to throw a slide on here for that. But it definitely was a super duper hot day, and but definitely great connections were made, and it was a fun time. So, but other things that happened since then were um, June 23rd, my buddy Jeff McFadden did a training. 8 people attended. Great information was shared, conversations were had. Jeff is a fantastic speaker. And, I failed to do a pre and post survey and failed to push Jeff to do that. So that is why we have no data for that. But, things happen in life. And, but, we got some cute photos in the Reframe Recovery frame. So that's really all that matters in life. But actually, what really matters is that the eight individuals that were there for the training were able to get great information from the training. And you obviously can't see there were 8 people here because they were kind of in and out. But um, it was very engaging, and Jeff is so hilarious. And Bryson and Tristan were 2 individuals that were there. Is there anything else that you guys would like to share? I'm
Well,
going with
nothing,
silence.
nothing extra that
Go
I could
ahead.
really think of, honestly. It was a good experience. Um, Anybody that wants to learn how to share a story or whatever, definitely reach out to Jeff because he can lay it out pretty easy for anyone to understand.
I fully agree.
Yeah, sorry, Grace. I was doing something else, but yeah, I'll second that, Bryson. And Jeff, always good to see Jeff, and he does a great job. So yeah, it was good. It was really good. Thank you, Grace.
Why does the
No,
reframing recovery picture look like the cover of like a DVD?
because why not? Because it needs to. That's why. Um,
Looks like an 80s
absolutely.
band.
It does. It does look like an 80s band.
I approve.
I mean, it's a cute photo, so I threw it on there. You might, Um, so we do have data from the other trainings. So from the hidden risks and drug and danger children, family, human trafficking training that was hosted alongside with Allies Against Trafficking. So there was knowledge gained, there was great community. 13 people were attended. The speakers were fantastic. The training was very engaging. Everyone there seemed to have a great time. Um, so the before today's, so some of the questions that we asked were before today's training, how confident were you in the ability to recognize grooming behaviors? 40% said very confident, 60% said somewhat, and then it changed from afterwards to extremely confident being 20 to very confident being 80%. So we definitely did that jump, which was awesome. And then before attending today's training, how confident were you in the ability to recognize indicators of human trafficking? We went with very confident 40%, 40% said somewhat confident, and then 20% were not confident, not so confident. And then after the training, we jumped to 20% being extremely confident and 80% being very confident, which is awesome. And then the last combo was before attending today's training, how confident were you in ability to report suspected human trafficking, including knowing who to contact and the steps to take? 40% were very confident, 20% were somewhat, and 40% were not so confident. That jumped to 40% still being very confident, and then the 60% being somewhat confident. So that 40% that were not so confident jumped to being somewhat confident, which is awesome. And then overall, how did you rate the speakers and panelists' knowledge, professionalism, and ability to effectively communicate topics? 40% were very confident and 60% were somewhat. So I very much see that as a plus. No one had any very big negative feedback. How could they improve? Um, Lisa Wingert was unfortunately unable to join us in person, so she was on Zoom. So she didn't have her camera on, which I thought was funny, but I didn't really push the topic. But that was mentioned as if it would be helpful to have her face on, but I think that she just thought her information was more important than showing her face, which is fair. Um, and then um, and she wished that she would have been in person, but she had just moved, so she was unable to like be there in person. And then Kelly Schwanberger, who was our first speaker, was rushed and nervous. And then she also mentioned that while she was speaking that she was feeling rushed, which I didn't want her to feel that way, just because the time was actually like going really smooth. Um, so she had also was super jet lagged. And just I think timing wise, um, it was like a tight deadline, but um, she had just come back from the Dominican, from having a vacation for like 2 weeks. So if I'd known that, I probably would have pushed Nancy to do the speaking, but it is what it is. But I mean, they both did um, great. And then somebody else has said having more one-on-one information and more real life examples, and then any extra feedback, comments, suggestions. I thought it was a great offering on a very sensitive but important topic. It was so glad to be a part of it. And then thank you so much. More of anything. So I was really glad to get good feedback from that as well. Here are just, for those who, so I know Ron, you were there. Do you have anything to add from that training?
Probably the main thing was just getting some perspective on what was happening there. Claire Oliver just started. We just got a grant for human trafficking here at Sojourn, and so we're, kind of ramping up on the whole um, HT thing. Um, I think the main things for us was just getting, like I said, some perspective on what's happening elsewhere. And also knowing that, um, between both of us, we've got backup, I guess, if something comes up and we need help and such. But the speakers were great and learned a lot, took a lot of notes. So yeah, it was a good few hours, that's for sure.
Awesome. Thank you. Does anybody have any questions before I continue? Okay. Here are our super awesome rad cards that Molly and I worked on. And let me tell you, to fit all that information on there took so much effort. Um, so these are, I think, in the process of being printed. We are very excited to be able to get all of this information. It's all up to date. And it looks really cute too. So that's what's that. Tristan and I had a conversation about the meeting cards. So we're gonna see how these meetings in Mason County go, and then give them some time to ramp up, and then with consistency, and then we will add them to the meeting cards and get those pumped out. Especially when I'm allowed to spend money as well, because I can't yet until my budget is approved or it is sent to me and told that I can spend money. Um, and then we have updated resource directory cards. So this is what they look like. So Logan County is on the left and Mason's on the right. So I did a lot of research. Nadia, my supervisor, came up with a good idea, which also was put into place with the rat cards as well. The colors on the rat cards and with these cards are colorblind friendly. So there was research put into that for individuals who are colorblind so they can still see all the different colors. So it's not like blah. So it's still interesting to individuals who are colorblind. So but we also still wanted to make it pop and be cute and things like that. So we have those, and in the some of the reframe and recovery boxes, I ran out of the old ones, so some of these new ones are in there. And so if you need any new cards, let me know. I can drop some off. And then if we need to order some more, once we get our budgets, we can get some ordered at some point. But we have a whole bunch at the office. So let me know if you need any, because we are ready to get those out into the community. Anybody have any questions? Okay. So again, here's some of our locations where you can get harm reduction resources. I got hide meeting controls. So family custom cleaners, Logan County Health Department, Hope on Fifth, Mount Pulaski Library, Logan County Jail, Atlanta Public Library, Elkhart Public Library, Logan County Courthouse, and then the Walgreens and CVS pharmacies you can purchase, but it's not advised. Come on. And then Mason County, you can get it at the Vanna Public Library District, Mason County Health Department, Mason City Public Library, and Foreman Valley Public Library. And then all four pharmacies within the communities you are allowed to buy and purchase, but I wouldn't suggest. But if you need any harm reduction resources, those are where those will be. And at some point, every fiscal year, it is our goal to add two more. So at some point we will talk about if other locations where we would like to try and get more harm reduction resources in there, that would be amazing. So if you want to kind of like think about that, and Logan, I mean, we have a lot of places, obviously in Logan County, but if you if there's other places in Logan County, that'd be great. Also in Mason County as well. If you just want to think about like this would be a great location where maybe it's a 24-hour location or something like that, or a business that would be open to hosting and having maybe something, a stand or whatever at their business. We would love to get in communication with them, but at a later meeting, we'll kind of have that discussion, but maybe wanting to throw that out there so you can think about it.
Hey,
Kara.
Grace, Mount Pulaski Library has 24-hour access to theirs.
Oh yeah, I got that.
Oh, okay, cool. You have that. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
And also, if anybody can find a way to get me some benzoid test strips, that would be great. I can not
I know.
find any. So
That are free.
that are free, yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's a hard one right now is finding is finding any test strips that are free. Because
yeah,
I got some, you can ask Sue, but I think her stash is
she
pretty
doesn't have any.
low. She doesn't? Okay.
And she can't get any either.
Yeah. I can give you what I have.
The one I had
Is
was expired.
what I just got from her though. I just got a couple
Okay.
boxes from her.
Okay.
So, because I was throwing those in the reframe recovery boxes, but I'll have to do test strips in the next round. So,
Okay.
I can give you all the test strips that I have.
Perfect.
It's not that much, but it's at least something.
Yeah.
But if anybody knows of places that you can get test strips for free, that's becoming harder and harder to find. So let us know. Any other questions about harm reduction resource locations? All right. So our recap. Here we go, guys. This is very exciting things. This is what we did in FY26, and I'll put it together for all of you. So we attended 17 events, 4 of them being community events, 11 of those being hosted events, and 4 of them being, yeah, that does not equal 17. 8, well, 19 is really the answer. 19 events, not 17. We went to 19 events, not 17, but 4 of them being trainings. Then I was stressing out and I thought I only handed out 50 boxes, and then I went back and I counted and we handed out 56 boxes of our reframing recovery boxes, which is amazing. So thank you, everyone. 21 of those went to Logan County, 25 went to Mason, and 10 of those were partner agencies. And then with our social media, we had a 48% increase on engagement. I would assume it's probably because we combined, but I'm going to take it as a win. From our posts, we had 85 of them being stigma/awareness posts, 12 being our harm reduction resource locations, 20 posts being reframing recovery, and then 7 being different trainings. And then throughout that, we were sharing like sharing meetings and things like that. And then with our MAR bags and harm reduction resources, 50 bags were with Mason County Jail, 50 bags went to Logan County Jail, and the Atlanta and Elkhart libraries were the 2 locations that were added on this fiscal year. And then with meeting cards, we handed out 5,000 business cards, and 1,500 flyer size cards. And then 70 scans were made on the QR codes on those cards in FY26, and then 279 times those QR codes were scanned in total from the time we've been handing those cards out to now, which is crazy awesome. And then Kara, with her CPR trainings, has done 21 of those, and 49 people have been trained with how to use naloxone, which is just amazing. So yeah, does anybody have any questions about any of that before I move on to other things? We had a lot accomplished. This is part of what we've accomplished, but those are the big highlights.
I'm saying way to go. Whoop, whoop. Look, I walked into the police station today. I was able to present one of our officers appreciation from Bridge. But when I walked in there the frames are right there. The frames are there. The cards are there. There's help right there. And, you know, those boxes and the concept, that was something in my head that I just shared with people who are organized and know how to, take a vision and bring it to life. Grace, you brought my vision to life. When I walked in there, it choked me up to see that because there was a day where we didn't talk about any of it. We didn't have nowhere to go. We didn't have. And I spoke with the officer today, Clint Wombles, Officer Wombles. He was acknowledged for the most referrals from to Bridge. But the work, just way to go, man. Way to go.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. And
If not, it's okay. They were recently gave out, so that's like totally fair. Okay. Well, moving on to what we got going on next. So I need your help with Recovery Month. So what we need to do is I need to get your feedback on some things. So if you can scan this QR code or go to slido.com and put in this code, and then I will make sure that this one is live. We will start gathering information on how to improve Recovery Month. So the first question is should we just keep doing what we're doing? Don't fix what's not broken. Oh, I don't need that, but thank you. Perfect. Nice. Getting a lot of yeses. Okay. All right. Gonna move on to the next one. So I need help on picking a Thursday. I'm available on all of these. So one of them is a ROSC meeting,
What
but
time?
oh, that's the next question. So,
Okay.
well, we can go to that. Let's go to that one. Here we go. We'll do that one first. What time? What time should it be? These are all the times. Because we said evening, but we didn't specify what time.
Hey, I can't vote because I'm driving.
What you
But
4:30 to 6:30, 5 to 7, 5:30 to 7:30, 6 to 8, 6:30 to 8:30.
yeah,
I'll vote for you.
yeah, put me down for Actually, 4:30, 6:30.
Okay.
Oh, wait, no. You know why? Uh, well, because there's a recovery meeting at 6. And you're,
I mean,
could you, so I guess my suggestion would be to go to 4 to 6. Because there's a recovery meeting, and I know people who are
yeah.
diehard are not going to miss that meeting.
Well, 4:30 to
Just
6:30 is the win.
yeah,
So
that's where I was headed myself. But then I'm thinking that half an hour is going to go into the meeting.
yeah,
Could we consider 4 to
yeah, we
6 instead
should.
of 4:30? I don't want to screw everything up, but it just came to my mind.
No. That's a fair question. Um, okay, yeah. We'll come back to that and then we'll do what day. So I have the 3rd, 10th, 17th, or 24th. They're all Thursdays. Okay.
I gotta look at my calendar.
Okay. I'm gonna keep that open for a second. And I'm gonna
Can you put me down for the 17th?
I can. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's like the winner. I'm gonna stop the poll for a second. As you did bring up a good point. Okay. Now we're back in action. I threw on 4 to 6. I got you down, Jeanette. I also apologize if you can hear a cat in the background. Fantastic. Okay. All right. So that I'm going to conclude that part. So thank you. Thank you for that. I'll tell you the results because that's helpful. So, wait, why is there? Okay, so we're going to keep the format the same. It's going to be on September 17th at 4 to 6. So thank you, everybody. So now if you could I couldn't do one Slido because I have the free and I don't pay for it. So I had to do two Slidos. So apologies. We're moving on to Overdose Awareness Day. I want to know if we should keep it the same. So last year, just for those who don't know what we did in years past, we've done a panel discussion. We also talked about doing a full Narcan training at this one as well. So keeping that format of doing a panel discussion with a Narcan training. And yeah, and doing it live and the hybrid version. So having it live and also whatever online. Those are words. And if you do say yes with should we change anything, please state why and what. What should we change? Because knowing what we should change is helpful.
I got confused somewhere. I don't understand the ask.
I just want to know for Overdose Awareness Day, which is a Monday this year, just wanting to plan it if we should keep it the same structure as we've always done it, or if we want to try and do something different.
For me, I would suggest that we do what we know because it's a lot that goes, there's a lot of, I don't know how to explain it. No, the words aren't coming.
Nope, I got it. I'm putting you down for
Do
a
you
no.
understand? Yeah.
Yep,
I mean, mhm.
I got you. All right. I put down the time because it is a Monday. I didn't look at meetings. But would 5:30 to 6:30 work?
Oh, well, depending on, again, um, perhaps if you plan on having it, I hope.
Yeah, that's what I asked.
Mhm.
I'm getting approval.
Again, it's just that 5:30, that half hour. I don't know. I can also throw it to folks and see,
Is
I
it,
don't know.
is there a meeting every day at 6?
Yes.
I got you.
Oh, wait a
Okay.
minute, Monday. I think we're good on Monday, actually, now that you said that.
Well, I could
I
just check
think
my
there's a
PowerPoint.
CODA meeting on Monday at 6, but it's not, that's not folks would come from that meeting.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. There's a CODA meeting at 6.
Right. But
But
the
there
folks
is
that
a
actually would come.
yeah.
Mhm.
And then there's a 7 p.m. AA meeting in Lincoln. There is a 6 p.m. meeting and I didn't look at that in Havana though.
But I mean, that's when folks decide to hit the road, and they call that asphalt recovery. When you hit the road and you just go see how other people are recovering.
We normally don't have food. Um, but I mean, we could look into having somebody host, or I don't know. But food is always an option to bring people in. If there's a different time that would work better, you can throw it in. Okay. Um, Panel discussion seemed to be the right thing to do. So who should we put on the panel?
I suggest that you put the opportunity out and see whom shows interest. Um, yeah, that's my suggestion.
How would you do that?
For instance, putting a flyer or something together around, posting them at Hope, where they have the recovery meetings at, just to give people an opportunity uh, to step into, a lot of times we don't have no leadership role to step into.
Mm-hmm.
And so we could easily call our panel that we've had both years. They would come faithfully, I'm sure. But I think it's something really special if we do open it up
Yeah.
in that way. So I
Yeah.
would, like I said, it would be a flyer, putting it out there, asking, right, when we are during engagement, say, hey, I heard this opportunity came up, and just talk it up a little bit, and see what happens. That's my suggestion.
I like it. Yep. Somebody said I would pitch it if someone in the if to someone in a clinical role would share their experience. That would be interesting.
Absolutely. I like that idea.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, due to time, we are going to close this survey. So thank you, everybody, for that. So we have our community survey that will be coming up soon, and I just want to give a super quick overview of the questions. So we have to give we're doing our annual community survey every year. We are to give the state gives 10 questions. So these are the 10 questions that we are assigned to do from the state. There is no changing them. Um, so the medicated assisted recovery, is it effective? Is it difficult to find it? People who use drugs respect, mental illness deserve respect, harm reduction services. Um, to see their opinions on these things. Is it difficult to find harm reduction resources in the community? Is it difficult to find mental health treatment services? Should we increase drug fund and government funding? Um, and then everyone in the community can get help for mental, seeing if that's a option. And then everyone in the community can get help for substance use regardless of income, um, insurance state, status, race, ethnicity, primary language, da da da. So those are the 10 questions, and I will send the whole survey out because we will still ask questions about if they are seeing our reframing recovery materials and things like that. So that will change up at the top. But noting that these are the 10 that are the ones from the state that we have to keep, but then do we want to change the questions that we have or continue to keep them? On a data side of things, I would state that we keep the ones, that way we can continue collecting the same data. But if there's something that we wanted to add, we did do that last year. We added this question at the end, the occupation. We added that to the survey last year. But before we've had, do we know someone with a substance use disorder? There's stigma in the community. If I found out someone is actively using substances in the neighborhood, I would consider moving. I'm living in a neighborhood, questions like this. Willing to spend an evening socializing with a person in recovery. Substance use disorder is caused by someone's bad character. Moral failing is caused to someone's substance use disorder if they are currently using substances. Treatment will lead to improvement for someone with substance use disorder. Medication for substance use disorder substitutes one drug for another. Most healthcare providers should offer medication for substance use disorder so it's easily accessible to people who want it. This was super fast, I understand. But this was just to kind of give you a heads up. This is something that is coming down the pike for us. So with the notes, I'll send out the full survey. And if you have any suggestions next meeting or between this meeting and next meeting, if you want to shoot them to me, and we can chat about that at the next meeting. But upcoming, our next deflection. Oh, wait, before we continue, does anyone have any questions before I keep rambling through all of this?